This is Natalie Jamerson. A few summers ago, I was sitting at a plastic table outside of a dirt-floored home in Guatemala. I was sitting there as a college student, as an intern, as a young white woman, and I was waiting to meet with my host brother Ender and talk about the differences between his way of farming corn and my view of how farming should be done. My intentions were well-meaning, but I felt like I came from a place of the white savior complex, of coming into a community not my own, where I wanted to share education, but doing so meant asking others to compromise their way of life. And I went into this meeting at this table with some anxiety and confusion about my role. And it quickly became apparent that I should have trusted my gut and realized that this meeting wasn't really going anywhere. I felt disappointed. I felt like I wasted his precious time of working to put food on the table for his family. And so I turned my sights elsewhere. I realized that he and I weren't meant to work together, which was a really hard realization to come to. But behind me from this white table on that dirt road was an elementary school. And for weeks prior, the kids would come during recess and try to poke their head into the room where I was staying to figure out who I was and why I was there. And at first I took that as mistrust, but later I took it as an invitation to get to know each other. And so I spent time with them learning about what they had for lunch and the games that they played at recess, and found out that they had a garden in their classroom and were trying to plant the other main vegetable that they depended on, which was radish. And to me, radish isn't the first vegetable that I would choose if I had a choice of nourishing myself. But to them, the radish was an important part of their diet and their culture. And so I asked them why their radishes weren't growing. They were very small. They didn't have very strong roots. And it turned out that right next to their garden was the place where they burned all of their trash. And I saw this direct line of pollution running into their small garden. So I worked with them to create some terraces to separate the trash from the soil and provide some of the vision that I had for my host brother's family into a very small scale demonstration for the school. And that it gave me a bigger reward than I was expecting to find. I was able to build a relationship with these school kids who were able to share with me some of the authentic kindness and happiness that I hadn't felt previously. When getting to know someone from a different country, there can often be sort of an unfamiliar tension or coldness that can come off on both sides. But with the kids, there was none of that. And they wanted to play with me, and they saw me as a friend and as a peer, and helped me break down the complex I had about myself as a white woman in Guatemala, and the implications of the sort of nonprofit mission that I was carrying, and get back to a place of friendship and sharing of knowledge on a personal level that helped transform my experience there and help their radishes. And by the end of my time there, I was able to share radish salad with them, and that, I think, was one of the most meaningful meals that I had on my entire trip. For the Seattle Globalist, I'm Natalie Jamerson.